Last time on MasterChef Australia.
You want to stay in this competition? Cook your hearts out.
The red team faced off in a poultry-themed elimination challenge.
If you stuff up chicken, you can't cook.
And it was TK who bid farewell to the MasterChef kitchen.
This show has taught me to never give up, be resilient, and anything is possible.
Tonight, it's a feast for the senses with a masterclass.
Today we want you to have a little bit of fun, and today's a beauty.
Lots to remember and lots to learn.
Gary brings back a little taste of summer with his barbecue chicken with melon salad.
The perfect summer barbecue.
It's great, it's fantastic.
Beautiful summer dish.
Excellent.
Jason Jones from Melbourne's Mamacita shares his secret to making authentic tacos 2 ways.
The most important thing is freshness.
You know how much I'm salivating right now?
Yeah.
Are you jealous over there?
Yes.
And Matt Moran breaks out the bubbly with his champagne savarin.
It's warm and it's fluffy and it's sweet.
Bit like me, really, isn't it? Good morning.
Morning, guys.
How are we? We good?
Yes.
Bright and sparkly, happy, clean, white. Morning, Ben.
Morning.
Good morning. Welcome to another masterclass. Wow, what a week. We go from these dizzying heights to these all-time lows. But that's a competition, isn't it? So we lost Kath and TK this week. Amina, you're a close friend of TK. You're a roomie. You were a roomie.
Yeah, losing both girls has been pretty rough.
Don't you cry.
You shut up.
You know, it's been an emotional rollercoaster, I think, for all of us, and especially when you're so far away from your family, you become family in the house.
Mindy, you beat Sean President in the Immunity Challenge. You must be absolutely wrapped. That's 2 weeks in a row, and then you clinched it.
Oh, unbelievable. Thank goodness for a strong team on the day, and we used a lot of the raw food techniques that we learned from the masterclass, so that was invaluable.
These classes are so important to get those little tips, but also to polish those skills that when you see it, we show you, you go home and you practice it.
Today we want you to have a little bit of fun, and today's a beauty. We're going to throw back to summer and have a look at a dish that is the perfect summer barbecue. We've also got a very, very special guest, which you're going to love. And based on some of the stuff that you cook, absolutely perfect right at this point in the competition. So, Matt, what have you got in line for us today?
Now, I'm going to do a dessert. I'm going to do a dessert which you've also got to bake, and there's going to be some beautiful autumn fruits that we're going to poach. So lots in it, lots to remember, and lots to learn.
But in the meantime, perfect summer barbecue, so you can go and have a sit down. I'll see you soon.
Ciao. See you guys.
See ya.
Any thoughts about what's going on here? Barbecue. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I love that. We've got these 2 beautiful little Japanese charcoal grills in here. So these have been heating up for about half an hour or so now. Who loves a barbecue? Love a barbecue. And the reason I love it is because I don't have to wash up everything. So the question is, what am I cooking today? Well, I'm going to have a little bit of a recap on the poultry challenge. So it's a summer barbecue chicken with dukkha spices, a melon salad and yogurt dressing. Bo, what do you love cooking on a barbecue?
Just a natural thing for me to be outside cooking on the barbie. I love the taste that you get from the flame.
Yeah.
And I guess there's no dishes either, so it's pretty good.
Right, Bo, you are the perfect solution for today's little challenge. Did I say challenge?
Oh,
Nah, it's a masterclass, Bo. Come on, are you ready to step up?
for sure.
Up you come. I'll tell you what we're doing today. We're going to do this lovely grilled chicken. It's very summery, and I'm going to split the chicken, take out some of the bones, and then use this grill to pop it on. So nice and easy. So I want you to buy into that, and I want to see if you're ready to step up and either just reproduce the dish that I'm doing, which I would encourage you to do instead of going off on a tangent, but to have a look at the ingredients that you've got and see if maybe you want to do something different. You don't have to. Sound good?
Sure, sounds good.
All right. First up, we're going to make a spice mix, and essentially, it's a dukkha spice. So grab your mortar and pestle, and you'll notice you've got some little spices over there. You've got some cumin, some coriander, some sesame seeds, some hazelnuts. All right, so we're going to put a couple of tablespoons of the cumin seeds just in a hot pan. It's only going to take a couple of minutes. Some coriander. It doesn't have to be precise. We're not talking a precise science here, so maybe roughly 2 tablespoons, all right? And you can hear those seeds popping. You don't want the pan to be too hot, so that'll take a few seconds. Can you smell it? Starting to come out?
Starting to, yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then pop it in your mortar and pestle, and then just crush them, okay? That smells gorgeous, doesn't it? Can you smell that
See
over
the
there?
steam coming out.
Yeah? It's good, isn't it? I'm not used to this hard physical labour. You are, though, huh?
I love it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you do this one too, then. No. Are you changing arms?
Yeah.
Oh. I'll do this.
Aren't you that skilled, Gary?
Ambidextrous. Love it. How you going? Good?
Good.
All right. So let's pop them in a bowl. So that's our cumin coriander. And then we've got some sumac. All right, and I'm quite generous with sumac. Little berry, little lemony berry. You can put a pinch of salt in. And then I've got some hazelnuts. And of course, they've been roasted just for a few minutes. And to be honest, this can be as rough as you want. So I'm gonna put a little bit of a crush in there, but I'm gonna leave some texture. So in they go. There was about 1/3 of a cup of hazelnuts in that, all right? But that's gonna give it a lovely taste. So I'm gonna put in a couple of tablespoons full of sesame seeds. Now you can toast those if you want, but for this exercise, we're not gonna do it. All right? And that's our spice mix. All right, let's crack on with the chicken. What I'm gonna do is just take the back out of this, and it's up to you how you wanna do it. This is about 1 kilo chicken, all right? So you can split it right down the middle, and it's nice and easy with the scissors because you can follow the line of bone. So what I want to do now, when I've taken that bone out, you done that all right?
Yep. I think so. Does that look all right?
Yeah, cool. But the simplest way to do this, really, without all the fuss, is actually just split it down the back and cook it, all right? And I'm going to split that, yeah, and just chip through it, nice and gently. And then once you're through, then you can cut it in half. Keeping up, mate?
I think so.
So because I know that this breast is going to cook a lot quicker than the leg, I just want to ciselate that or make some incisions into the leg so that I know that it's going to cook, all right? So what I want to do is just do these little incisions almost down to the bone. So all I'm going to do now is just sprinkle a little bit of this spice. We're not going to put a huge amount on, but I want both sides. And there's also some garlic and some thyme. Just do some really thin slices. We're just going to put these on the chicken. Amina?
Gary, what are the perfect herbs and spices to match with chicken?
Chicken is a great carrier of spices, and all sorts of things are going to work brilliantly well, like the cumin, the coriander that we've put in here, or things like fennel seed, oregano, lemon. You know, you can get dried lemon, roasted garlic. All those flavours work so well. Olive oil to help lubricate this during cooking, but also if you're marinating this, to transfer those spices into the flesh. Smells good enough to eat.
I love it.
Smells good, doesn't it?
Might have a bit right now. Is that all right?
So let's pop these on the grill. And we'll let that sizzle away. Is there any sizzling happening?
Yeah.
I reckon that chicken is going to take 12 12 to 14 minutes on the side, not on a really hot barbecue. You want it so it's a medium barbecue, so it crisps the skin. You get all that, you know, that liquor flame a little bit, you know, that barbecue taste from the bars. 24 minutes plus, I reckon. Today's recipe is a little throwback to the summer barbecue. So it's a summer barbecue chicken with dukkha spices, a melon salad and yogurt dressing. We've got 2 jobs to do now that we've got our chicken split up and we put our spices on, which smell absolutely gorgeous. We're going to make a melon salad and a yogurt dressing, all right?
Yep.
Right, let's make the dressing. So just put a bit of lemon zest, chopped garlic. And then you want some lemon juice in there. And a little bit of garlic. So a little bit of garlic. I don't want to put too much in because I don't want it too hot. And then we're going to add some yogurt. There's about a cup of yogurt there. And to a cup, you probably need a good tablespoon of tahini paste. Pinch of salt. And just give it a mix. All right, so we've got our chicken grilling. We've got our yogurt dressing made.
Can I have a taste of yours and see
if it's the same?
Yeah.
Sort of the same?
Yeah, mine's better.
Okay. Oh, yeah, so much better. So I'm going to chop the watermelon up. So if you want to pick a guy or pick a girl, and they can come up and chop the melons for you. Do you want to do that?
Who wants it the most? Sammy?
All right.
Go, Sam.
Go, Sammy.
Go on, Sammy.
Sammy.
Melon.
So, Bozo, what do you reckon about some long strips of melon?
I reckon, yeah, almost like a julienne, maybe. Strips, yeah.
Yeah?
Just play around with it, see what looks best.
Okay.
So we're happy chopping up the melon here?
Yep.
So my theory is if it's odd-shaped, cut it so that it's an odd shape. So if I cut a wedge, and the best thing about cutting watermelon up is you just get to have a snack as well. Is then take the rind off. And I'm going to cut mine into the shape of the wedge, all right? And now for the rock melon. And then I'm going to cut across it this way.
How you going, champ?
Good, mate.
Pretty soft, is it?
How's champ going on the end? Do they always talk like that, boys? I must be mixing in the wrong circle. Now I'm going to use cucumber as well. So I might do some little battens with this one.
Gary?
Yep.
Is there a way of perhaps simulating a smoky flavour while using a gas barbecue or an
You know
oven?
what? You can char it over dry fennel, for example. You know, like I don't mind putting a piece of foil down on a barbecue, putting dried fennel stalks, for example, or some fennel seeds, and then actually putting whatever I'm cooking on top of that, like fish, and you get a really nice flavour coming through. So we're ready to plate up.
I'm going to barbecue this coriander.
All right, go for your life. Barbecue it. All right, well, I'm going to plate up.
Oh, the smear.
I love a good smear, Gary.
I love smears. You know what I like a smear? It's because it acts as the vinaigrette, doesn't it? In every bit of food that you pick up, you know? So where are you up to, Bo?
Just plating up, Gary.
Yeah. So I've got my melon on the
Tempting too,
plate. I've got
anyway.
my dressing on the plate. I'm just putting a few pine nuts, some golden raisins, which I've soaked, which is the sort of fruity, dry fruit element of it, so give it a nice flavour.
Might put this underneath.
How are they
the
going,
chicken.
guys? They all right?
Underneath the chicken.
They're not arguing, are they, about how it's going to go on the plate?
Poisson pieced, or are you going to serve it whole?
What's that?
Are you going to piece it, or are you going to serve it
I
whole?
reckon, yeah.
Yep.
2 pieces?
Yep.
We put this chicken on? Yep.
Yeah, you can put the chicken on.
Nice.
what I'm doing, which is a little bit different to Bo, is I've split mine just so it's... This is how I'd serve it in the restaurant, you know, because it adds a bit of theatre. It's a dish to share, you know. Right, done.
That looks really good.
Dunsky. That looks okay.
You don't have grilled coriander, though, you say?
I know, and it all comes down to taste. So that could be the difference, couldn't it? So there you have it, my barbecue chicken with summer melon salad and tahini dressing.
And this is Sam and Bo's barbecued chook with the addition of grilled coriander.
Who wants to taste? Yeah. Andy and Deb, up you come. Amina, do you want to come down and have a taste?
Okay.
Okay. I want to try
Be nice, Andy.
I want to try the barbecue coriander.
Looks really good. I love that seasoning.
Yeah. So the dukkha spice, you like that?
Yep.
Deb, what are you tasting?
The spices on the chicken coming across into the yogurt dressing and the melon, and they just all work perfectly.
Nice and light.
It's great. It's fantastic.
Beautiful summer dish. Good.
Excellent.
Amina?
Our chicken's really good, especially with the crispness of the melon salad. It's a really nice combination.
Good stuff. Did you taste Bo's? I want to know what the grilled coriander tastes like. Nicked all the coriander.
Yeah, can you get any more skin?
Oh, here, there's a bit more under here.
You know what, that grilled coriander's nice. I like it. It changes the flavour, doesn't it? It takes out some of the intensity, softens it a bit. And so some feedback from Bo and Sam's. What do you think?
Very yummy.
Same flavours. What do you reckon they could have done a little bit better on the presentation?
I don't actually mind the presentation.
Yeah, I don't mind it either.
I mean, it's something totally different than yours, but it still sort of looks pretty good. Yeah.
Thanks, boys. Right, you lot back.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Well done, Bo.
Thank you.
Sam?
Thank you, Gary.
Good stuff, mate.
Good.
Well done. So my two top techniques for this masterclass. Number one, the temperature of the barbecue. You should get this gentle, zen-like sizzle when you pop the food on top of the bars. It's not about getting them roasting hot and burning and then watching the food get destroyed by flames and carbon, okay? So that's tip number one. And tip number two is about the use of spices. A lot of people avoid spices, but even one or two things like cumin and caraway or cumin and coriander or fennel and a little bit of dry chili can just take something very ordinary and make it into something really special. Right, next little bit in Masterclass. Guess what? Wonder what that is. Recap the Mexican challenge. You got prickly pear and cactus, the cactus pads. What a challenge that was. I loved the look on your faces when Julia brought that cactus out.
Cactus.
Julia, that didn't go quite to plan, did it, for you?
No, did not at all. I thought I knew what I was doing.
Ben, you love Mexican. We keep picking on you for it, but you do, don't you?
Yeah,
What is it about Mexican flavours that you love?
I like that it probably hasn't really been transformed into modern food yet, so there's so much you can play around with it still. It's really fresh sauces and really sort of hearty meats, I guess, a combination of two things I really love.
And I know you're looking at all those ingredients going, who's coming to cook for us? Well, I'll tell you, there's one restaurant in Melbourne that has taken the whole of the city by storm. People queue for a very long time to get into this place, and the chef that was behind that restaurant is here today. So I'll introduce former chef and co-owner of Mamacita's in Melbourne, Jason Jones. Hey, superstar. How are you?
Oh, good.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Say hello to the team.
Hello.
Jason Jones.
Hey.
Ben, do you know who this guy is?
I do, yeah.
And?
I love you.
In a man-love kind of way.
In a manly, big,
I love you
grunting
too.
sort of way. I love the food, and I love, like everyone who's probably seen the food or been there, has completely changed their outlook on what Mexican food is.
So what is it? Tell us what is modern Mexican food? Tell these guys.
Ooh, it's lighter and fresher than what we're used to. The food in Mexico, it's really regional, and if you go and have a look around, there's things that you've never seen before, and they're really light and fresh and just creative flavours that, so...
Things like lime, coriander. What about this? What about this big pad here of
Cactus.
So these guys got prickly pear and cactus pads.
Yeah,
You use that?
Yeah, we do. It's called Nepalese in Spanish.
So, Jason, what are we going to show these guys how to do today?
We are going to do 2 different types of tacos. One would be taco de cerdo, which is the pork one. It's marinated with an achiote paste. And the other one, it's a taco de huitlacoche. It's a fungus that grows on the corn cob, and it's really strong. I'm going to marinate the pork first so that it's got the longest amount of time to get the flavour through it. While I'm cutting it, I'll explain the marinade. It's called a achiote, and it's a paste that they use in Mexico. It's kind of like if you think of like a Thai paste. So it's got lots of different ingredients, and then they use that to mix through meats and fish and stuff. Have a smell of it. It's
very intense. Like a tobacco smokiness to it.
Yeah, that's
and sweetness too.
I've just cut the pork into thin strips, basically, and now I'm going to make the marinade. So 3 garlic cloves in there. Glove for the achiote because it stains your fingers.
So it's like peeling beetroots. You're going to end up with red fingers.
It's worse than beetroot. Yeah. Half this block, which is a 150 gram block, so it'd be 75 grams.
Yep. So where can we buy this? I mean, this
Spanish importer. All right, crumble that in. Right. 100 ml of orange juice.
Okay.
And 25 ml of red wine vinegar.
Okay.
Right. Oh. There we go.
So look how red that is. And that's the marinade.
Yeah.
That has got such a distinct smell. It's fascinating.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, really beautiful.
Just pouring it in now. I'll mix it, and so we'll just leave that until we're ready to, once we've got the tortillas made, all that, and then we'll just quickly grill it.
That reminds me of, like tandoori, you know?
Yeah.
And that just sits there for how long?
Overnight, preferably. All right, next I'm going to make the dough for the tortillas with masa harina.
Which is? Tell us what that is.
Which is flour made from corn.
So you got 250 grams of the mesa flour in here, is that right?
Yep, that's
And then how much water?
375 of hot water.
Okay.
Righto. Oops. 370.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But surely there's a little bit of touchy-feel on this one as well. If it's not quite right...
Then you add a little bit of flour if it's too wet or...
OK, so how's that looking? Is that good?
Yep.
You're just grabbing a little bit and just seeing if it comes away cleanly?
And it's malleable, but it doesn't stick to your skin.
Beautiful. Comes off clean.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yep.
So that's perfect. So what happens to this now?
OK, rest. Needs to rest for a while. Yeah, and cool down.
And then set that aside for 15. What's next?
Next is we'll get our fillings made.
So this is going to be a salsa, is it?
Just a light, crunchy salsa in the pork taco.
OK, let's kick into that.
The onion, cucumber and celery.
Yep.
And just mix it all up. You're going to pick that for me and I'll chop it.
Which is oregano?
Yep,
Is
oregano.
Right? Beautiful. Who's got bad knife skills in here?
Amina.
Amina. Did you see how Delvinda just dobbed you in there? That's terrible. Come over here. Come on.
She's got great knife skills.
Come here.
She's got the best knife skills. Sorry. You got the wrong person in.
Come on. We want a little brunoise, the same shape as that from the celery. See how you go. So brunoise, of course, is what, Amina? What's a brunoise?
Finely diced.
Yep. And are you not great at finely diced?
No, I can do finely diced.
Yeah, no worries.
She's...
See?
Yeah? How's this brunoise? Is this a bit dodgy, Jace, or are we going to use it?
Well, it's very good, actually. You can probably... even a little bit larger. Is that
Bit larger?
Yeah.
No worries.
Really good. How'd you go with that?
Oregano.
Yep. All right, I'll give that a little chop.
No pressure or anything.
No, no pressure.
Well done.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Hey. You get your little moment cooking with Jason Jones.
Yeah.
Cool, isn't it?
All right, so just mix it up. A light, crunchy salsa. And that's that.
So the ingredients now are the filling for the huitlacoche
That's right, yeah.
taco. Got some mushrooms, corn, zucchini, onion,
garlic,
and some stuff.
Huitlacoche.
That's huitlacoche.
Yeah, have a smell. Earthy.
Yeah, it's really earthy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what it reminds me of, actually. And it's very coarse. What are these little pieces in here? Is this just part of what's growing on it?
Yeah, bits of the actual, they're like bulbs, big bulbs that grow off the corn.
Totally unlike anything that I've... So where can we get huitlacoche or the corn fungus? Where do you buy that from?
Fingers crossed, you'll get it where you can get your achiote paste as well.
Okay.
Field mushrooms, I like to take the skin off. You don't have to, but...
Alice, do you take the skin off your mushrooms?
Well, it sort of depends, I guess, on the recipe. But for this one, if you want like a consistent texture, I'm assuming that's why you've taken the skin off. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So onions in.
Yep.
So really, we're cooking these until they're translucent, soften down a little bit.
Yep.
What are you popping in next?
Garlic. So give that a little stir, maybe a minute.
Yep.
And then add the mushrooms.
Just to soften down,
Yep.
get the fragrance happening. Mm-hmm. And then, so what sort of texture? Because obviously these will start releasing a bit of moisture.
Yeah.
Yep.
So want it to be wet.
Okay.
Yep.
So today we're making 2 styles of tacos. What are they, Jason?
Taco de huitlacoche with guacamole and taco de cerdo that has the achiote paste in it.
You've got a job for me, haven't you?
Guacamole. We're going to make proper guacamole.
Okay, so for 2 avocados, how much onion?
You may as well chop it all up,
Okay.
but we won't use all of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So dice that finely.
Yep.
And then the tomato.
Take the seeds out and remove the bit of eye.
Just like that.
Perfect. You've done this a couple of times.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And then same dice, or is that too big?
Yeah.
So same sort of size as
Same size as the onion.
Right. What else goes in this beautiful guacamole? A bit of...
Chopped coriander.
Now, do you use the stems or just the...
I don't mind using a bit of stem.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, you can use the whole lot of coriander. The roots are great.
I'm getting ready to go here on the...
this mix.
The guacamole. 2, or should we go another one? I just like the look of all these ingredients on there. Look great, yeah.
Go the next one. Yeah, do 3.
Go the next one.
Do 3.
So coarse or smooth? Or in between?
A little chunky. A little bit chunky.
Where can we go wrong with guacamole?
Oh, making it too ahead of time so that it's stays really fresh. If you do it like the day before or something, its flavour, the flavour changes. So
3 avocados, looking at about 1/4 of an onion.
All the tomato, I think, all the coriander, and the
lime will squeeze into taste.
And the lime, and some salt.
And some salt. Love it. We'll see how we go.
This is just your basic guacamole, like that simple recipe, and then you can add all sorts of different things to it to make it your own style.
Can you taste? Just make sure.
I can. Yep. I like a little bit more like...
See, I knew he would do that.
Just a little bit more.
How much more? Do you think that's half will be all right?
That'll be enough. That'll be enough.
So really fresh. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
isn't it?
real zing flavour.
Okay. So how are you going with that little mushroom mixture?
It's good. It's getting there.
What are you looking for on the mushroom before you add those other 3 ingredients, the corn, zucchini and the black fungus?
For the mushrooms to be sweated down? Yep. Just so they're soft. They're soft, they've released some moisture. And, they become more tender.
Okay.
Yeah, not chewy. All right, corn. Diced zucchini. I'll just cook this down until the zucchini and corn start to soften. Right, I'm adding huitlacoche, which is the fungus that grows on the corn cob. Right, in that goes. This is going to have a really earthy, mushroomy flavour to it. I mean, it's got mushrooms in it already, but it's going to be really mushroomy. Get that out.
We've got tortillas, I presume, on the way, but before that?
Before that, we're going to take some of that cactus.
Right.
And use that in the taco de huitlacoche
who had trouble dealing with this on the challenge, on the Cactus challenge? Anybody? Andy, what was the problem?
I used a paddle and I just couldn't get the goo out. I pickled it first and then I washed it and washed it. I just couldn't get rid of the goo.
Oh.
Right, there's our prickly pears that aren't ready yet. I'm just going to chop it into smaller bits so I can use it easier. Peel it with the glove. And I'll just make strips.
Okay.
Yep, thin little strips.
Gee, look how sticky that is, huh? Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Now it has to go under a lot of cold running water.
Okay.
Just wash.
So just to wash that.
Just to wash it as much as possible. Very well washed.
So next up, we're making the tortilla.
Yep. First of all, take about that much out and roll it into a bit of a ball, pretty much like that.
So we've got our little balls of dough.
Yep. Masa. Right, we're going to squash them.
Show us how to make a tortilla.
Oh, here you go. There's one for you.
Oh, my, working again.
And two for me. Yeah. Here's what they look like. Yeah, I'll spin them around for you. Not too... You got to watch these because they're not that strong. The alloy, they snap. Have you used them before? And have you broken them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that what you're laughing at?
Yeah. Right.
Is you're breaking metal. That's how good you are on MasterChef. Huh?
Oh, that one's on the bottom. How'd you go?
All right, so we peel off, do we?
Then you peel it off, yeah.
Okay, it's coming off.
Okay. Now, you don't need to worry about it being a bit frayed on the edges or anything. I think a little bit of rusticness makes it look like you've made it as opposed to bought it. So down it goes, a flatbread.
So how long will they take to cook?
A minute.
Okay.
Yep. You can smell the corn of it, yeah. Oh.
Let's have a look. This one looks like it's lifting off. Is that all right?
Yep.
Brilliant stuff. So you're looking for a little bit of a golden brown little tinge?
Yeah, a little bit of colour on them.
Now we've got all of our ingredients, and you've also got some limes and some shredded cabbage.
Cabbage.
Now, do you want me to fry off a little bit of that pork?
Yep, that'd be great. Just a touch of salt there for you. Yeah, it's got a big flavour.
Yeah, massive flavour.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yep. Nearly there.
So this normally takes a couple of minutes, this pork?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Good. All right. Here we go. A bit of red cabbage. Right. Red onion salsa.
So fresh,
Nice
looks so
crunchy
good.
And yeah.
Really clean, really fresh.
Give it a little pinch of salt. Yeah. The guacamole, I put it in piping bags at work. There we go.
Wow. That's awesome.
There it is.
So you've warmed that salsa up
Warmed
as well?
it up, yep.
Great.
A little bit of the cactus that's not so slimy anymore. And another little pinch of salt. Salt's the best thing ever, isn't it? I fold them and use these to hold them down.
Oh, like a little bit of a weight.
Yeah, a
Fantastic,
weight.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how much I'm salivating right now?
Yeah, we do, we know.
All right, and there you have it. That's the taco de huitlacoche with guacamole, and that's the taco de cerdo that has the achiote paste in it.
Beautiful. Ben and Andy, up you come. Do you need knife and fork?
No.
I
you
can
don't
bring
need
them
that.
up. I might try one too, you know.
Yeah?
Very jealous.
Oh! It's,
Are you jealous over there?
Yes. Totally.
You know how you asked before why I like Mexican food? That's why.
Why?
You
Describe
like
it.
The cabbage you get that really, the cabbage taste. The meat's really tender, which I didn't think it would be. And the lime juice, which sort of awakens everything.
Lightens it up.
Yeah.
I mean, this one, the cactus helped us out with the texture bit. Otherwise, it's all quite soft.
Yeah, you get the corn straight up, followed by the guacamole and then the zing of the lime just right at the end. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And fresh-made tortillas, you can't beat them, really.
Now, 2 top techniques to leave these guys with.
How I chopped that cactus. If you're going to use cactus, just make sure you be careful handling and wash it. Wash it like ridiculous amounts. Yeah. Number 2, the most important thing is freshness. Like even we made tortillas, but we just made them and we just ate them. So having that freshness is like fresh baked bread. You know, you can't beat it.
Well, Jason Jones, I think we have to thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. We've been trying to get you up on the show
It's been my pleasure
for a while now,
too.
but you've been a little bit busy.
A little bit busy.
So thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason Jones.
Desserts. Now, there are so many chefs, not just here, in the world. You mentioned desserts, they freeze. They're scared of them. You know, they don't do them during their apprenticeship. They don't do them at work. They're on the sauce section or the garde-manger or the larder. And you mention desserts and they just freeze. So, Mindy, how important is a dessert in the immunity challenge?
It is super important, actually. You're right. It's something that if you're a little bit scared of it, you tend to steer away from it. But in an immunity challenge, you can't get away with it. It's judged, and that could be the make or break.
So today we're going to be making a champagne savarin with some champagne poached fruits and some champagne ice cream. So a savarin is made from brioche dough, and it's just the round shape. First thing we're going to do, champagne ice cream. Very simple ice cream. We're going to make an anglaise, and then we're going to add a little bit of cream to it at the end, and then we're just going to churn it, yeah? So first thing we need to do is to grab the champagne and actually burn off the alcohol. Right, champagne, yeah? Can't be Australian sparkling wine, it has to be champagne. Only champagne comes from champagne. Slowly.
Oh.
Look at that, perfect. We're going to measure 250 mils into a pot. Now we have to to burn the alcohol off that, we actually obviously have to bring it to the boil, yeah? Bring it to temperature, then we put a blowtorch to it or a match to it. We just let that alcohol burn off. You still want the flavour of it, but you don't want that high alcohol taste into it, yeah? The next thing is to actually start to make the anglaise. So we're going to add some sugar and egg yolks. Now, you actually add your sugar to the egg yolks when you're about to do this. You do not add your sugar to your egg yolks and forget about it and come back to it. Do you know why?
Burns them.
Exactly. It'll start to cook the egg yolks, yeah? We've got 110 grams of sugar, so it's equal quantities. And give it a really good whisk until you get to about the rhythm stage, is where you can actually do a little bit of a rhythm thing over the top of it. And you can see that they're creamed quite a bit. And you can sit there and you can pretty much get a figure 8. So what we're going to do is now burn off the alcohol. Blowtorch is probably the easiest because you can keep well away from it. Right, once that alcohol is all burnt off, take it off because we don't want it to evaporate any more than what it already has, yeah? Right, so 250 mils of milk. Now mix back in. Put it back on the stove. You can probably turn it down a little bit. Now look at that, guys. Yeah? To me, that is absolutely perfect. And the way to tell is you coat the back of the spoon, you run your finger across, and if it doesn't just run over it straight away, you know you're going to have perfect ice cream. Yep. What we're going to do now is add our cream. 100 mils of cream. So guys, our ice cream now, we know it's been cooked. It's to the right consistency we want. We'll put it into a water bath and we'll cool it right down before we churn it. Right, now for our brioche mixture, or our savarin mixture. We have a teaspoon of honey and 6 grams of dried yeast. What we're going to do is make a paste. And guys, a little bit, just to get started, of milk, say 25 mils of milk. What we're trying to do is just incorporate and get the yeast to start to activate, yeah? By hitting the moisture and start diluting and making a paste, it'll start to activate and start to work. 3 eggs. Now, it doesn't need to be beaten, yeah? It's just incorporating all the ingredients. We're now going to use the dry ingredients, put into the mixer, and we're going to slowly add that and form our dough. So 150 grams of plain flour. Pinch of salt. So we started off, we just slowly add our ingredients. While that is doing its thing, we're just going to grease our savarin moulds. So to grease them, really easy, a little bit of butter. You can actually be quite liberal with this. It doesn't matter how much butter you actually put around the outside. Right, a little bit of flour. Tap it down. You're basically just doing this so it won't stick, yeah? Now, that's only gone on for a couple of minutes, yeah? Not even that. It's just to really incorporate it. Now, I'm going to scrape it out into a bowl and show you that it is a very wet batter.
Oh, wow. It is quite smooth.
Looks really elastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Guys, 50 grams of butter exactly. Just dice it up into small dice. And just breaking it up and putting it over the top of the dough. And we're letting it prove. What will happen is the butter will go really soft. And then once we knock it back and we start to incorporate this butter, it'll have this beautiful buttery sort of flavour to it. Sorry, Wade, you have a question?
I just want to know if there's a reason why you didn't incorporate the butter with the batter before letting it rest.
It actually just gives it much better texture rather than sort of beating it now and then letting it prove up. Yep. Once we've added our butter on top, we're going to let it prove. We sit that in a warm spot for about 40-45 minutes. Now here's one that I did earlier. You can see that it's beautifully proved. It's all come up. You know that it's working. And just start to incorporate the butter. Now, you saw how quick the butter went into it, yeah? Now, to get that into the moulds is going to be a very difficult task because it is a very wet dough. So the best thing to do is to pipe it in. Julia, I'm going to get you to come up here and do a few.
Come on, Julia.
It's not that hard to actually just put enough in it so it's capable of working and then refilling it, yeah? You don't have to have everything in there all at once.
This is the stickiest brioche dough I've ever seen.
So we need to put a little slit in that. Now, you look at the size of that. You don't want to open it too much, but you want it to be at least where you can pipe it. So left hand, yep. Just ease it in, let it squeeze a little bit more before you go, yep, a little bit more, yep. Piping is something that you guys all should be practicing. I remember as a young apprentice, you know, we used to have to pipe little chocolates, you know, every day. And I sat at home for hours and hours with soft butter, and I just kept refilling it until I got that perfect rosette. And then just the knife on top. We're going to put them on a baking tray. We're going to let them prove, and we're going to put them in the oven to bake. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
We're going to let this prove now in a warm spot. Now, I've already got some done, which are ready to rock. So, guys, we're going to put them in the oven, 170 degrees, between 15 and 20 minutes. Just keep an eye on them, yeah? You want them nice and golden brown. You don't want them too dark in colour, but you don't want them too light in colour, yeah? So just keep an eye on them. Our ice cream now is icy cold. We're going to start to churn it. We're making a champagne savarin with some champagne poached fruits and some champagne ice cream. We've got our ice cream in the churner, we've got our fruits that we poached in the champagne. Everybody understands poaching, yeah? You've got your boiling liquid, you add your ingredients, you let it simmer until it's cooked. Our savarins are baking in the oven. The last thing we need to do is to make our soaking liquor so we can soak our savarins. We've got 250 mils of sugar, 600 mils of champagne, and 500 mils of water. And a vanilla bean, yeah? Actually split the vanilla bean. The reason why we split it, we get much more flavour out of it, yeah? So on the stove. Basically what we're doing is letting it dissolve and bring it to the boil. We're actually going to add the savarins while it's still really hot. So it's actually going to be a warm dessert. Bo?
If you're doing a brandy one, how much brandy would you put in?
How much brandy, if I was using a brandy one, or a rum one, if I was going to do a rum one? It's really up to you. You know, it's how strong you want it. It's one of those things that, you know, if you want it really strong, you add a little bit more rum to it. If you're a sailor, you put a bit more rum in it. Right? Our ice cream's churned, and our savarins are cooked perfectly. How do they look?
Look at that.
They smell pretty good, don't they?
Thank you. Oh, they look
Now,
fabulous.
the most important thing, do they stick or not?
Done, done.
Not bad, huh?
They look like donuts. Look at this. Imagine them in this syrup.
Well done, Julia.
Thank you.
Our stock syrup has come to the boil. Pretty much what we're going to do is just drop it in.
Jeepers creepers.
Now, you can see the savarin there. It's already starting to blow up. You can see the size of that one, see the size of this one in here, and you want it. You want to make sure that that syrup goes right to the core. And if you see this now, I'll show you.
Oh my God.
It's like a big sponge.
Oh, yeah.
Right, middle of the plate.
It's like a...
Huh?
Oh my God.
You can see the difference, can't
Yeah.
you? Right. Now, just to garnish it, we've got all these beautiful poached fruits. Just going to place it around. Some rhubarb. Our ice cream. Nice big scoop of ice cream.
Take the rest.
You want that texture to be beautiful and creamy.
Oh, look at that.
Now, guys, just to finish it, what I've got is a little bit of baby basil. Sprinkle it over the top. And there we have it, guys. Our beautiful champagne poached savarin with poached autumn fruits. All right, guys, who wants to try it?
Yeah.
Apart from me. Julie, you had a little bit of a hand in this. Come up.
Yeah.
And how about Emma?
Bring us a spoon back, girls. Ice cream.
We've just been sitting there saying we want to taste it.
There he is.
Yeah.
I have to, I can't not eat pudding.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you what.
Wow.
It's pretty good. Julia, what are you tasting?
The thing for me is that it's warm and it's fluffy and it's sweet.
Bit like me, really, isn't it? Huh?
What about you, Emma?
The poached mandarin is so nice. I've never thought to poach mandarin before, and it's just, it really makes it so much like juicier and sweeter, and it's perfect.
Bring it here, Em.
Right, guys, see you later.
Some ice cream.
You like seagulls?
Yes. Can I just have a taste of the ice cream? Yeah. Thanks, babe.
So, guys, what are you going to take away from this dessert? Alice?
I love the idea that you used a savarin mould because it allowed the liquid to go all the way through into the centre.
Sam, what are you going to take out of this?
3 new ways to use champagne. It's not just a breakfast drink. I really enjoyed watching you make that brioche. It's the first time I've seen it done, and the more and more I go on, the less pastry and bread is scaring me.
So how do you like them apples?
Yeah.
It was good, wasn't it?
Oh,
Nice
yeah.
masterclass, a chance to recap on some of the mistakes that you've made. Those recipe books that you've got, can I tell you, you may use those 20 years from now. You might go, I remember when Matt Moran showed me how to make the perfect savarin, and you'll flick through these little sticky crumpled pages, and there it is.
Gary.
All right, so hold those close.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
I've got that book from 27 years ago. And it's a green-covered book, and I still use the recipes out of it to this day.
Hey, all right. Enjoy it?
Yeah.
Good masterclass?
Yeah.
Right, let's go up and celebrate the week that was.
Yeah.
Hey, Tommy.
Come on, guys. Wow. Look at that food.
Oh, amazing.
Yum.
Bad ugly.
Hey, hey, hey.
Right, volunteer some wine. There you go.
Wow. We're not having wine. Surprise.
Oh, these were Mindy's, weren't they?
Yeah.
These biscuits are nice with a bit of champagne ice cream.
Well, here's to a nice restful weekend, huh?
Guys, it's been a big 4 weeks in the MasterChef kitchen, and you know what? There's a long way to go. Here's to Masterclass, and here's to you guys.
And a long way to go.
Next time on MasterChef Australia.
Well, guys, what is in the box?
The race is on to find the perfect combination and unlock the puzzle that is the mystery box.
I'm just trying to think of what pulls all these ingredients together.
And love is in the air with the most seductive invention test.
Love is a many splendid thing. What we want you to do is tempt us, tantalise us, and make us tingle all over.
I'm pretty clumsy when it comes to seduction. I'm not real comfortable with it.
Then, further ahead, it begins.
We are travelling to the birthplace of Australian gastronomy. And some of the best produce I've tasted anywhere in the world. We are all off to Tasmania.
As MasterChef sets its sights on Australia's natural state, Tasmania.
How good's Tassie?
In a week-long culinary adventure of discovery.
Ben from the blue team, Tasmania's local product.
But for one amateur cook, it will be no holiday.
Be warned that someone will not be returning at the end of our trip to Tasmania.
Oh.